and welcome to episode 3 of the Forza World podcast. My name is Aaron. I got Jason here beside me.
Hello.
The idiots are back.
Yes.
So we have returned. It's good to be here. I'm so glad that it's not 32 degrees.
Yeah. Well, 32 degrees for you.
32 degrees for me. Yeah, because look at me. I live in a fancy house that has air conditioning.
AC. I don't know if that constitutes a fancy house. It's just a general living.
Okay, well, I live in a poverty barn.
Apparently.
Without any air conditioning. So that's a shed.
So hang on. So you're telling me you don't have AC at your
I don't
place
have
right
AC. I have a portable air conditioner with a tube that's stuck out the window.
Oh my god. All right, how hot do you think it was at your place? Because it was pretty hot the other day.
32 degrees.
32. What is that in Fahrenheit?
I don't know.
That's
85.
That's getting there. That's like creeping on 90.
Yes.
So how did you? I don't even want to know.
I walked around in my underwear.
I would have just. Oh my god. I would have been just a sweaty man. I would not have been happy about that because I can't. Honestly, if it's like above 73, I can't sleep. It's not happening.
73 is your limit?
Oh,
you are a pussy.
I don't know about that. Jesus. Pussy? I'm a pussy because I have air conditioning?
No, you're a pussy because you can't sleep in anything over 73.
All right, listen. Go home and you can go sleep in your sweaty sheets.
It was not sweaty anymore.
Anyways, this is a car show, by the way.
Yes.
We do have some Forza talk, actually.
We do have some Forza talk. So on the way over here, I was listening to some music, as one does in an automobile. And I was listening to Horizon 3 Vagrant Radio, which is a sleepy good radio station.
So what
Forza.
was Vagrant, though? So Vagrant was like kind of rock.
It was kind of rock. It was kind of like an alt pop in some songs. It was kind of, every once in a while they had kind of more alt songs, but some of the songs were more rock. It was a really good radio station, though. There were only a couple songs that I wasn't too big of a fan of.
Yeah.
But it was a really good radio station. And I think you can agree with me on this, that the only genuinely good radio station in Horizon 4 was Hospital.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And there isn't really a top tier radio station in Horizon 5. Like there's nothing that I will tune to purposefully and listen to drive around in.
No, and I will interrupt really quick about Vagrant. I just want to bring up that some of the artists that were in there. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable band. Blink 182.
Yep. Granted, it was the new Blink 182.
It's still the fact they got that, and we're
182.
conscious enough to think of that. The 1975 is another big name that I've heard
really
of.
good band.
And then the rest were just like these
because it's
sneaky,
the sound that's in there, right?
I think that one by the Bombay Bicycle Club was good too.
That one was good. Because Luna was in Horizon 2. Yeah. Was it Luna that was in Horizon 2? Yep. That's a good song. And then the one in Horizon 3 and Vagrant's really good. But it's such an underrated radio station. And we haven't had good radio stations in Horizon since Horizon 3.
No.
Really?
No.
Because in Horizon 1, 2, and 3, and whoever's listening, if you've played Horizon 1, 2, and 3, I'm sure you'll agree that you play with radio stations on. Mm-hmm. How often do you play with radio stations on in Horizon 4 and 5? You don't.
Not often.
I will put money on it that you do not consistently drive around with music.
In Horizon 4, I basically just kept it locked.
On Hospital.
Because it was so good. Like I drive around to that in my car because it's that good of a station. Like it's like maybe one song I didn't care for on that.
But that was it.
Horizon 3, they did have the Groove Radio.
They did.
I quite liked Groove Radio.
Yeah.
Or was it 3 or 2?
That was 3. They had the Microsoft
Groove thing. You could upload your own music and then listen to it in game. So it was a little bit easier than just throwing something on like a Bluetooth speaker. It was a little more natural. So I did like that. The stations overall were pretty good. It got progressively worse from 1 to 2 to 3, although all 3 of those were still good. Horizon 4, Garbo, big time.
The only redeeming factor, I'm going to interrupt you. The only redeeming factor is if you play on Xbox and you have the Spotify app, like if you pay for Spotify and you have the Spotify app, you can have your Spotify app playing music in the background and it will continue on in the game. And then you can set your levels on music. So I usually have a Horizon 1, 2, and 3 playlist that I listen to when I want to play Horizon 4 or 5 in the new games. So I can listen to Horizon 1 songs in Horizon 5, and it is brilliant.
That's a good idea. Well, I don't have Spotify. I didn't know you could do that.
No.
But that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm not a fan of the music. There are some redeeming factors to Horizon 5, and that's mainly just the cars that they're bringing in.
Well, technologically, it's more or less a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like the visuals and everything are pretty damn good.
Yeah, the visuals are good.
Somebody commented on our page today, and they said, like, well, what do you think of the game? Like, how good is it? It was just kind of a general ask.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? It's a technological masterpiece with no passion and no direction.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Like, I don't know why the fuck I'm playing this game. I have no idea. I'm just driving around getting cars every week because they tell me there's a new car coming. And I was like, I like the car.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm working towards. We won't get into that because we'll be here for 2.5 hours. We try to keep it around 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like the music's...
You don't have the drive to do anything anymore other than get new cars. That's it.
No. And I think the music is such a big component because in the other ones there would be like a certain song would come on and I'm sure
you just get excited when you drive around.
There was always a song.
Oh yeah.
In the earlier games there was always a song where it was like, honestly, screw whatever I was just doing. I'm going to go just blast this car down a tunnel.
Yeah. In Horizon 2 there was that one metric song. That was just. Can we? I know. You know the one I'm thinking of. Can we put a quick clip in it here?
Yeah. Let's play it right now.
Because that song there, it was so good. Like, especially when you were driving like an LFA or something with like a loud screaming engine.
Yeah, higher
RPM engine.
Oh my God.
It fit the personality of the game so well.
Yeah.
But speaking of new cars and high RPM engines, the 992 GT3 is in Horizon 5 now.
Is that this week? It's
this week, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this week that we're recording it's now active and available for you.
Okay. So is it a challenge? Like it's available right now or they just announced that it's coming?
No, it's available right now. You get 20 points in the season and then you get this car.
Cool.
It drives phenomenal. It looks incredible. It doesn't sound like a GT3. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know I think they recorded the European spec with the
toned down exhaust.
Particulate filters in it.
Oh. Okay, because the interesting thing is they usually nail the Porsches. I find like the Speedster. I find is pretty close.
Is very close.
It's pretty close, right?
Yes.
They don't get that like that mechanical clunk on the shifts along with the transition of the revs. Is like that's such a small complaint. Like I sound like a fucking douchebag saying that.
Yes,
but it's
you
true.
are a douchebag. So.
I'm not. But the GT3, like it's, I don't know. I heard a snippet. And like I couldn't really tell. You know this better than me. So if you're saying it's off, I don't know. It's just a bit of a surprise. Usually they nail that. I feel like usually they get some leeway with Porsche to get access to those sounds.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, ever since what was it? The cover car at Porsche, Forza 6.
No, that was 7. That was the GT2 RS.
It feels so like
it was a while ago.
Like that's a long time.
It was a while. That's 2018, 2017.
Yeah, bring back New Motorsport, please.
Yes, please. Hurry up. It's been too long.
No, but like ever since that, I feel like if there's a car that's been on the cover, you got a good relationship with the manufacturer.
Yes.
That's just, facts, right?
And that's,
The Viper, they had access to that before it was released to the public.
They did. Same thing with the GT2 RS.
Exactly.
Same thing with the Senna.
P1.
Same thing with the P1.
P1, Forza 5.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They had access to that.
Jeez, it's been a long time.
LaFerrari, I think they had access to that early too. That wasn't even a cover car, and they had access to that early.
It was funny. I was playing Horizon 5 the other day. A little bit of a side note. I was playing Horizon 5 just to drive one specific car.
Which?
The Audi R8 V10 with the manual gearbox.
Oh, like we were talking about
last week.
Yeah.
That's I reinstalled the game just to drive that car. And it was the best.
For you youngins, we mean Motorsport 5. When we say Forza blank, we mean Motorsport.
Yes.
That's the old school way of talking about stuff. Forza 5, 4, 3, 2. Those are Motorsport games. No, that was a hell of a car, man.
One other thing, if you're listening to this now, I would head on to Motorsport 7 and do the Rivals event to get the Forza Motorsport 2 driver gear and special livery of the 350Z, which was the cover car of Motorsport 2.
Yes.
Which is such a throwback.
You know what? Limited editions, on the topic. God, I miss those. I miss the box set. I miss the steelbook. I miss the little things that you would get with it. I miss Horizon 1.
Horizon 1.
You know exactly.
I know exactly what because it has the ticket in it.
Exactly. So they gave you. I don't even remember what it was. It was like a promo item.
It was a promo code. It was the promo code for all of the pre-order cars and the VIP cars.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So you'd get this pre-order, and instead of just a standard like DLC thing, there was another promo. It was like Recaro or something in it. Had a little discount. Yeah. But it looked like a concert ticket.
It looked like a concert ticket.
It was the coolest thing.
It was unreal.
It was so sick.
We're gonna get a picture of it. And we're gonna post it on the story
Another
just so you can see it.
I'm gonna do too. I want to talk about limited edition a little bit more. But
yes.
What we are going to do this week is I'm going to show off all the little Forza merchandise items that I have.
Yes.
So I want to show off the original Forza 5
You need to show off your paddock pack.
Yes. Yes. Because I've still got the full set and everything. Sore topic for Aaron.
It is a sore topic.
Sore topic. The valve stem caps on his car got stolen.
I was so frustrated.
And then in a separate theft, his sunglasses out of the back got stolen.
Yeah, I had a Focus ST that I put the valve stem caps on, and those got stolen. And then I had
or something. Wasn't that weird?
I think so.
Jesus.
And then I was. This was in the town, the poverty London. I had the sunglasses in my Volkswagen, my GLI, and someone broke in and stole my camera bag, and they stole my sunglasses. Mm-hmm. So that was fun.
Sucks because you cannot find that stuff on eBay. Period.
And even if you do, it's like $1,000.
Yeah. And then you know what? I was talking to Forza Copilot about this. Mm-hmm. It is really hard finding merch.
Yes.
Like very
Forza
hard.
merch.
Yeah, period. Like years ago, like I've got a lot of Forza lanyards. I got a couple of concert shirts.
They had t-shirts.
Yes. I've got this really cool Horizon 3 shirt. And on the front of it, it's just a nice little, like, in Horizon the corner, thing, just a logo. And on the back, it's like a shirt you get at a concert with all the different locations. But it's locations in the game. It's so sick. So, you know what? That might be something we do. We might try to recreate that one time to the point where maybe we don't get sued.
I would prefer not to get sued.
We'll cross that line, but you know what? It's so hard to find that, and if we could kind of replicate that and bring it to people, I think that'd be pretty cool. But regardless, they used to have a lot of cool stuff.
They did.
Forza had their own store for like, I want to say a year. That's where you could get the paddock edition thing.
Yep.
Again, I'm going to post all this because it is cool, and people think it's pretty neat that like this is something they did.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, merch was cool. Limited edition stuff was really cool too. The Steelbook, I really miss that. I really miss the functionality of previous DLC and car passes. I miss how that worked. We touched on that. But I don't know. It was kind of a nice little treat, really. Like you spend a little bit more money and it wasn't just getting all these little virtual in-game things. Like you got some cool stuff.
So transition. We're gonna move into our nice little segment. Cue the music of Jason's Complaint Corner.
Oh dear God. Yes. Anyways. Okay, this week.
What's your complaint?
I hate ice in drinks. It is the worst. I hate it. It's terrible. Like, why do I want ice in my drink? Why do you want ice in your drink? What is the function of this?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't put ice in my drink.
Exactly, because it's stupid, right? So I hate it. It's so dumb. It was designed, I'm pretty sure I remember reading something. It was designed by fast food joints in order to not give you more pop.
Probably
like
McDonald's.
That's why it was. And if you think like, oh, I'm going to put ice in my drink because to make it colder. You're so dumb. All it's doing is the ice melts in it and it ruins the drink and then it, air quotes, makes it colder. How about you get like, I don't know, a chilled glass, put it in the fridge for longer, get like one of those Yeti like thermal things that you put in the fridge and then you put the can in it. Literally anything that isn't putting fucking literal frozen water in your drink because it doesn't make it cold. It's not how it works. It's just so stupid. I hate it.
If you go out to a fast food place and you go to get a drink and, you know, all of the stuff is self-serve now, right?
Yeah.
People who choose to put the ice in their drink, I don't like those people.
You're a beta. You're going back in a PT Cruiser, I guarantee you. You're gonna go smoke a cigarette in your car with a baby seat in the back of it. Guaranteed.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
You're gonna hop in your 2003 Grand Caravan, smoke a cigarette with your child in the back seat.
That's what you do. If you listen to this and you put ice in your drink and you're like, I don't do that, your mother did. Okay? I'm telling you right now. I hate it.
Because A&W, I don't know if it's the same in the States as it is in Canada, but...
A different company, fun fact. Completely different company.
Yeah. But A&W restaurants do not put ice in their drinks. They refuse to because it's chilled in the machine.
The only time it makes sense is water.
Yeah.
Because it's water
It's
on
water.
water.
It's water on water.
I mean,
If you want cold water, cool, put ice in your water.
Like, fine. But again, it doesn't, like, the only thing it accomplishes is the thing that melts is cold.
It's cold.
So if it melts in water,
that's fine.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because you're keeping water cold.
If it melts in my Sprite,
then you're not drinking Sprite. You're drinking one of those bubbly drinks.
I'm drinking some sort of swill beverage, and I just want nothing to do with it. Anyways, I don't want to get too wrapped up into this ice business.
I know.
Like, I mean, fuck it. Honestly, I feel like that's definitely the majority too. I think there's a lot of people out there who haven't really thought about it, but I think
there are.
I hate it. I don't want to deal with it. I fucking hate ice in my drink. It drives me nuts.
Moving on.
Yeah, car podcast.
Car news.
Car news.
Yes, motorsport.
Actually, I do have some car news.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of talk. We talked about this, I want to say, last episode. And LMDH, man.
Yes.
Holy shit. This is gearing up big time. Like we say, our favorite series, IMSA, FIA WEC, love endurance racing. It's by far the best form of racing. If you like F1, you're going to love this. If you like NASCAR, you're going to love it. It's actually ran by NASCAR, fun fact. So, oh my God, it keeps gearing up. Peugeot announces this gorgeous looking,
did you just put
futuristic.
an R in that word?
Yeah, Peugeot.
Peugeot?
Is it Peugeot?
It is Peugeot.
Okay, I don't want to talk. I don't live in
Peugeot.
Europe. I am not.
There's no
Francois.
R.
Okay, I say Peugeot, but we'll go with Peugeot. Peugeot. We'll do Peugeot. So Peugeot announced this new car, and it is a stunner. Oh my goodness,
it looks
man.
really good.
Like the LEDs are crazy.
It doesn't even have a wing.
So I think that's a big theme with all the LMDH cars.
What, with the no wing or the LEDs?
Yeah. So no, well, like both. Like the LED design is definitely unique from car to car.
Because you've seen Cadillac's LEDs.
Cadillac, baby. So June 9th, this is before we're recording June 2nd. And Cadillac did a little quarter panel tease.
I'm going to have to change my underwear.
It kind of looked like a Sesto, man.
I'm going to have to change my underwear on June 9th.
Would you agree though? It was a little Sesto-y.
Because it has the chopped up carbon fiber. Like it has the carbon fiber that's in that front splitter is the what are they called? Forged? Is it forged carbon?
It's a word like that. Yeah, that sounds right. But it
whoever's
looks
listening
crazy.
to this and knows what we're talking about, you're going to be like, these guys are idiots.
so dumb.
They don't know what they're talking about.
We have nothing right so far. So it is true, though. It looks sick at the very least, whatever it is. The front lights on the Cadillac, it's very Sesto-ish. On the Peugeot, Puget, no wing, right? Front lights look great. Mm-hmm. I want to say a lot of these cars are going to have no wing based on what I'm hearing with how the underside of the car is working, and there's enough downforce generated in other areas of the car that isn't necessarily needed. That's what I'm hearing. And I also think we're stupid because last week we said Aston wasn't in, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason they made the Valkyrie. I want to say, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Are they entering that? Because that was that was the reason they made it. 100%, I can guarantee you that was the reason they made that car. It's just the series has taken so long because of COVID to actually get going.
And they have the Valkyrie AMR Pro, which looks unreal. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh my God.
It looks
There's one cruising around in Monaco, I think, wasn't there?
Was there?
I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It had like gold wheels and like I think it was green or something like that. I'm gonna pull up.
Was that just a normal Valkyrie or was that the AMR Pro? Because I don't think the AMR Pro is street legal. I really don't think that's street legal. Also, we're gonna segue into Monaco, but Aston Martin, if you follow the Instagram of Aston Martin, they just put a video out on the Valhalla, which looks so good.
I know, man.
It's such
They're
a good
killing it
right
car.
now.
Like Sleepy killing it.
Oh, it looks so good. Aston Martin, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because when the V8 Vantage came out back in the mid 2000s, that was and probably still is, hand on heart, one of the best looking cars ever. Period. I absolutely love the look.
Remove the word looking. Like one of the best cars. Period.
I will disagree with you there.
I don't know, man. It sounds fucking great.
They do, because I've driven one, but it was a 2013, so it didn't have the 4.2. It had the 4.7. Mm-hmm. The early ones had a terrible transmission, which any Aston Martin owner will tell you if they have an early one.
Okay, hang on.
Terrible transmission. The engine was unreliable, but in the new ones with the new transmissions and the new 4.7s, those are really, really good
Right.
V8s.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that car, right?
Yes.
If we're just talking purely like the good points and everything, like if it's working and everything's not broken,
Yes.
I think that's one of the best cars ever.
Oh, yes.
It looks fantastic. It's
would
in a
take that
great
over
price
anything.
range for what it is, right?
yeah.
Like it really is in a air quotes affordable price range.
Yeah.
Used and new. Used very cheap.
Used? You can find a
sounds-
used, like early 2010s V8 Vantage for like $70 to $100,000 Canadian.
So that's like $40 American.
Yeah.
So like you can
You can buy a V8
everywhere.
Vantage with your change from McDonald's.
Yes, if you're an American.
Yes.
So they're dirt cheap. They sound fucking fantastic.
They sound so good.
Like
They're
just
really
a crazy sounding car. A lot of little quirks, the little key slot in the middle. Like,
Yep, with the
it's just,
crystal
it's a
key.
neat car. Also, Maserati Gran Turismo. Shout out Maserati Gran Turismo. Very
Yes.
similar formula.
Yes.
Similar formula. Borderline sounds better, I want to say. But it was still Maserati, so it's going to break down. a
Well,
lot.
and at that era, Maserati was tuning their engines to release pheromones in women to make them attracted to the drivers. That
sounds
and
about
that is
right.
a scientific proven fact. There was a video that Jason Camisa did on the Maserati not the Gran Turismo, the Quattroporte, and they're very good car. There was a scientific test done that proves that it was made to make people horny.
No shit.
Like,
What? They made it that way? They designed it that way?
They made the Quattroporte sound a certain way to make people horny.
I wish I didn't know that now. I don't like.
But
It's
now when you
interesting, but
listen to
I
that
don't
engine,
like.
you're going to understand it.
I don't like knowing that though. Like it makes me uncomfortable. It sounded good every time this guy's going by, like in a Maserati Quattroporte, and swing. Like I can't deal with that knowledge.
I can't stand up now.
Okay, now hang on. This is something I was going to bring up about Aston Martin though, because we're talking
Okay.
about them killing it.
Yes.
The stupid DB SUV thing, DBX.
The DBX. Yes.
I don't know how I
Yes.
feel about that. I don't
I
like that
like
everybody's
it.
making SUVs, but it looks really sick and it is fucking fast.
I
700
like it.
horse.
So that's the DBX 707. So the
707,
707 is the fastest production luxury SUV. Yes, it's faster, you idiots, not quicker than the Lamborghini Urus. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not faster than a Tesla Model X Plaid. And you're like, okay, well, it is faster than a Tesla Model X Plaid, but it's
I
not
hate that.
quicker than a Tesla Model X Plaid.
That could have been another complaint corner. I hate when people are like, well, it's fucking 5 seconds or 0.5 seconds slower than this car. It's like, it doesn't matter. If it sounds good and it looks good and it's like within a certain range of fastness, I really don't give a fuck.
No.
Like if the 0 to 60 is under 4, I'm going to be impressed regardless.
if the 0 to 60 is under 5,
If it's under 5, even, yeah. If it looks nasty, honestly, the big thing for me is sound. I don't care how slow it is. If it sounds unreal,
good.
I'm down.
Yep.
I'm in.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. I like the DBX. Like in a way, I don't
Yes.
like the concept of the DBX. I don't like that everybody's doing these SUVs. I like the Urus is cool. I don't like all these idiots flexing their Mansory SUVs and everything. Oh, I spent
Yeah.
$600,000. Like you're an idiot if you spent $600,000
on a kit.
on a kit for this stupid SUV when you easily could have got like, you know what good cars you can get for 600 grand.
For 600 grand.
Holy
I know.
shit,
It's
man.
such a stupid amount of money.
It's that's my issue with it. I think more than anything is the price range. A lot of these luxury air quotes performance SUVs are like the area and the territory that's in. Man, you're passing up a lot of really cool, nice, unique, fast, good-looking, good-sounding pheromone cars.
So moving back to the motorsport talk, because you mentioned Monaco. I don't know what's going on with Monaco, but you sounded very into this.
So Monaco, yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, first the race, right? Like
Such a good race.
it was fantastic.
I'm not anywhere near as big of a Formula One fan as you,
Of course.
but I love watching Monaco because it is such an interesting track. It is my favorite track on the calendar, besides Spa, because Spa just has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, it's most people.
But Monaco is such an interesting track to watch because it's not based on passing.
It's a chess match. It's a chess match, and it's interesting, and that's probably why. Like, if you were more invested in F1, I think you would hate it more. I do think that. Just compared to everything else you see on the normal calendar, it's just like fuck this race. Quality's always good. Quality is always going to be fantastic because it's just you.
Yep.
And if
Getting
it's
the
one
fastest
car
possible
and
time.
that track, it's pretty incredible, right?
Yep.
And I mean, Charles Leclerc, you got to feel for this guy, right? He qualities first. It's looking like this is just going to either be a Ferrari 1-3 or Ferrari 1-2.
Like an absolute cakewalk.
Yeah, like it's just, you quality first. I forget what the percentage is, but you're probably going to win the race.
Yep.
And
at Monaco.
Just, you got to be gutted for this guy. Ferrari with their stupid Vettel era pit stop strategy. Did you hear about this?
No.
So fucking guy's leading.
I've seen a lot of memes floating around.
Dude, the guy's
stuff.
leading the race,
yep.
and I want to say they were doing a 1, maybe 2 stop strategy. It started off with rain.
Okay.
And so they started off on inters. I want to say everybody was on inters, and then they switched to hards. I don't know what the hell the confusion was about, but they're in his ear going box. Guy goes in the pit. The moment he's over that line, they go, stay out. And he's like, fuck, you idiots. So they told him to box, and he was not supposed to because Red Bull did the overcut. They end up going in around the same time, doing a different strategy, and then anyways, they beat him. Or not at the same time, but after, I want to say. I don't know.
I didn't pay that much attention to it.
So anyways, basically it come down to a Ferrari error that shouldn't have happened. And they lost this guy the race because the grid just stayed basically the same because you can't pass anywhere on Monaco unless you're maybe Sebastian Vettel. So Fair. It was just brutal. It was tough to see. And I mean, the news surrounding it, right? Like, it sounds like the contract either did expire or is set to expire with Monaco. Doesn't mean anything, right? You can let it expire and you sign on, you extend it. I think they did something similar with Monza or something. But I don't know. It begs the question, do you keep this race around? And I mean, yes, the history's there and visually it's a spectacle and being there, it's an event. But there's just a lot of really good races on the calendar right now. You don't have a German Grand Prix, which is a goddamn crime.
It is.
And I don't know, right? Like there's just a lot of really good tracks. I could name a couple more tracks in the US alone. I know a lot of you aren't going to want to see more US tracks. I would probably agree. I'd rather swap out Vegas or one of them for another one. But it's just like...
Well, Circuit of the Americas, first of all. Circuit of the Americas.
Oh, that could switch. I'm not the biggest fan of that track. It's good, but I like it way more for GT3 racing.
Yes, it's a good track, but it's better for GT3 and it's better for the NASCAR Road Series.
Oh, it's so good for that.
It's really good.
It's really good for NASCAR.
They're like, when it comes to other tracks in the States, Watkins Glen.
Oh, yeah.
Watkins Glen would make a really good Formula One track.
It used to be a Formula One track.
Did it really?
It did.
Oh.
Yep. It used to be.
All right.
For a long time, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you learn something new every day.
Mid-Ohio could work. Actually, Mid-Ohio's pretty tight. Mid-Ohio's pretty tight.
I was going to say, if you wanted...
It's a good layout. It's kind of like Monaco, basically. It's really kind of the same thing.
Staying on the topic of Formula One, because I don't know this. I don't think I've asked you this question. What is your favorite era of Formula One cars?
Ooh.
Because coming up, you're going to be in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to be at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For the Vintage Grand Prix.
Yeah, and they're going to have a lot of old school stuff.
There's going to be old school stuff. There's going to be the Lotus 79, the winning chassis, the player special.
Well, that's going to be there as a recap, as always. We're going to be going to the Canadian Grand Prix.
Canadian Grand Prix.
So the Chevrolet Grand Prix, they're calling it.
Yep.
In Canada, and that's the IMSA series, so endurance racing, everything we're talking about earlier.
That's the Canada Day weekend.
Yeah, a lot of these vintage GP cars are going to be carrying over. They're still going to be there. That's what it sounds like. But the vintage GP weekend, there's going to be even more of these old school cars. So, I mean, to answer your question, my favorite era, I mean, cars, late 90s.
Late 90s?
Mid to late 90s. Yeah, yeah. Probably 95-ish.
Okay.
God, they're fucking just gorgeous cars, like Schumacher's 7-Up car.
Yep.
The Ferraris alone, like just the livery, just that body style. It was great. It was super unsafe, but they were fucking sweet.
They were.
So I liked that. As far as racing goes, I mean, it's tough, man. Like the past 20 years, like if you were to take a 5-year range in the past 20 years, I don't know how entertaining you can say it really was from a World Drivers' Championship perspective, because you had Schumacher dominating everything.
Yep.
And you went pretty seamlessly to Sebastian Vettel.
Yep.
And then you went to ya boy, Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
So that's it in 20 years. So like don't get me wrong, the racing was incredible in the 2000s. It was good. Shout out, I think it was '09 when Braun won. That was awesome. I loved that. But I don't know. As far as an era of racing, I think you maybe go back a little further into the Jackie Stewart days. Stuff like that.
Like
the old school
you're talking
cats,
about
man.
like 60s or 70s. Because that was to the point where drivers were literally putting their lives on the line.
Oh, yeah, man.
And, you know, if you've seen the movie...
Was that, sorry, Ascari, wasn't he the guy who put his car in the lake in Monaco and then died like the next Grand Prix weekend?
I can't remember.
It was either Ascari or Pironi.
I can't remember.
One of them. But literally put his car in the Monaco Bay.
Yep.
Swam to shore.
Yep.
And then the next GP weekend died in a crash. Like,
I
so
can't even
incredibly
imagine.
unsafe, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's come so far. But yeah, man, sorry to interrupt.
Because what was that? I can't remember the movie now, and I'm going to shoot myself in the head. Rush, thank you. Rush, phenomenal movie. I absolutely love it. Was it completely 100% accurate? No.
Nope.
But they captured the essence of the mid 70s Formula One.
Yeah, and they captured the energy of that rivalry very well, too.
Very well.
Like, it was pretty good. And it's the same thing as Drive to Survive. And I know a lot of you cats listening are not a big fan of Drive to Survive. But you know what? It's not made for us. And I think the same can be said for Rush.
Yep.
Where, I mean, yeah, it's made for racing fans. And it's made, like, we're obviously going to go see it. But it's made to be approachable.
It is.
And I think that's a big thing with Drive to Survive right now, too, is both of those things where...
It's not meant to be perfect. It's made to be informative and approachable.
Yeah, and entertaining.
You
know what I mean? And not that the story is not entertaining to begin with, but it is. But you have to dress it up a little bit and present it a certain way so it's a little bit more Hollywood. And I'd say with that and Drive to Survive, because people get fired up about it, that it's not like accurate or it's misleading. And I think... if it helps the sport grow, I don't see how you can complain about it, right? No. Like, because you know the story, and if you get into F1 because of the show,
great, perfect.
And
That's
when you realize, like, okay, well, Daniel Ricciardo doesn't actually hate Lando Norris.
No,
it's like, okay, well, fucking whatever, like, that's TV, but it got you watching, and it's going to get a lot of people watching, and I think both of those, Rush and Drive to Survive do a very good job of dressing it up just enough.
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
That's good shit.
Now, we did the one segment, which was your complaint corner. And we have the other one that we started last week with the PT Cruiser.
Oh, fuck that car.
Fuck that car. So
lovely segment.
That's what we're coming up with. So each week, Jason's going to have a complaint, and we're going to pick a car that...
Well, it's my complaint corner. It's Jason's complaint corner.
Okay, it's your complaint corner. Yeah. Calm down. And we're gonna pick a car that both of us do not like, or one of us feels very strongly against.
Well, it's going to be somebody's week, I think, right? Like, that's probably the way to do it.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Because, like, you had this weird... I don't want to talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about this.
Okay.
You're, like... objectively wrong on the PT Cruiser. Like, that's just, I'm still in shock.
Okay.
No, I don't. We're not talking about it.
We're going to move on.
But I'm saying we don't always have to agree on everything. I'm down to agree on stuff and just grill cars. Like, I'm absolutely down. What do you have for us this week?
What do I have for you this week, Jason? A couple of Nissans. One of them is a box, and the other one's electric. Do you know which ones I'm talking about?
Is it the Cube and the Leaf?
It's the Cube and the Leaf.
Oh, fucking kill me.
So,
oh God,
I want to start with the Cube. I want to start with the Cube.
Okay, all right. I'll have to curb my frustration.
Curb your frustration with the Leaf.
Okay.
Let it fall from the tree first.
Okay, I didn't like that pun, but continue.
Thank you. So with the Cube, I think the only redeeming factor with the Cube is you can have a pun license plate and I saw this on a picture somewhere. The license plate was the chemical makeup of sugar. And I think that's the only time you can ever drive a Cube. Oh, you're such
a loser if you do that.
Oh, 100%. But that's the only justifying factor of driving a Cube. Other than that, they're terrible. Have you opened up the back hatch of a Nissan Cube? It swings out. It doesn't swing. It doesn't swing up. It swings out like a door.
Like horizontally?
Like horizontally.
Like a fridge.
Like a fridge. You're opening a fridge. So
Jeez,
and
it's
the
just
window
so
like
ugly.
the window doesn't like the window half wraps around, but it's not like a full window. So you
No.
think, oh, I'm gonna have great visibility out of the back
Is
of
the
this
blind
thing.
spot bad on that?
Blind spot is horrible. There's no it's the entire thing is a blind spot. There's
would
no
you
there's
ever
no
buy a
visible
Cube?
spot. But I think the Nissan Cube was made for the people who couldn't buy the Scion XB.
Maybe that was a boxy car too.
That was a boxy
but
car.
I don't know
But
why
the
the hell
Scion's
you'd ever
kind of
buy
cool.
one. Who would buy one of these? Like, I don't understand that.
The Scion XB was kind of cool though.
Objectively cool. Same thing as the
Objectively
PT
cool.
Cruiser.
Same
It's in a
thing,
price
yes.
range where there's 80 billion different cars that are better than it.
Yes.
That's the problem with it. Why are you buying a Cube? I hate
So
it.
Nissan, moving on to the Nissan Leaf.
Oh, the Leaf. That is the biggest pussy car. I'm sorry. It is just... It looks so sad and Nissan Leaf, and it looks like it asks for permission to use the self-charging stations. It looks like it doesn't really belong there. It's like, oh, may I please use the self-charging fucking thing?
Oh, it does.
It's so bad.
And the headlights remind me of the Nissan Juke, which is just awful,
Yeah, they
and I
just
don't
look like
like
these.
the Nissan
It looks like
Juke.
a concept car that got through and didn't really have approval, and they just kind of went with it because it was kind of like an accident. I don't know. It's just this stepchild of a goddamn electric car. And you know what? As you know, I'm not the biggest fan of electric cars. I think synthetic fuel is the future.
Yes.
However, there is still a place for electric cars. This gives electric cars a bad name. It's ugly. It's uncomfortable. It's stupid. It's built by idiots. Everything about it. The Leaf, though, we'll close it on this. I fucking hate that car. It just gives electric cars a bad name. It gives them a bad rap. I think because it was so early along with the Chevy Volt, it's what people think of when they think of electric cars, which is just cheap and shitty. And it's just such a beta, like, please, sir, may I use the charging port? Like, it's just, looks like it runs on a 12-volt Milwaukee battery.
Yes.
It does.
It
I
does.
hate it.
It does look like that.
And it's not even practical. It's literally just for getting around. So why don't you just get a bike at that point?
Yes.
Because it's going to be just as comfortable.
Yes.
I hate it.
All right.
That was your car, and I hate that more than you.
What do you
I
mean?
think. Well, it was your suggestion. Well, not your car. Sorry.
It was my car.
But I
It
just
was my
meant like it was your
suggestion.
suggestion. But I
Yes.
was more frustrated about that. I need to go take a walk or
You
something.
you do need to take a walk. Take a
goodness.
swim in the lake.
I might. Cool down a little bit. Jesus Christ.
But you know what the Nissan Leaf kind of reminds me of? The Cadillac. What is the XLR? That electric
was
two-door.
I didn't
ELR?
know about this.
What do you mean? you didn't?
ELR?
The ELR? Yeah,
Oh,
the Cadillac
hang on.
ELR. The Cadillac version of the electric Bolt. Those are stupid.
Ooh, that's...
Those are stupid.
Oh, that was the concept.
That was it's stupid.
Well,
'Cause it
you know
looks,
what?
They're, you know how much they go for now? They're like $100,000.
100 grand?
Well, maybe not now, but they were when they were new.
Oh, when they were new. Yeah, I wouldn't pay that new, but like honestly, it looks way better than the Volt. It really
it looks
does.
better than the Volt, but it's
still very
basically
mousy.
it's basically
Like,
a CTSV coupe. But they're like, we're going to take the engine out and put a battery in it.
It's comically stretched out though.
It is.
But like I don't know. The Volt was just so bad, the initial Volt, and the Leaf is just such a fucking God, it's just so dumb. Anyways, we'll move on from electric cars this week. That's enough of that. We do like electric cars, but not those
electric cars. But I think that's a good way to wrap it up. I think the complaint corner and the fuck that car, we've gotten a lot of pent up energy out, or pent up anger at least.
There's a lot of anger to go around.
There is a lot of anger.
I would wager the majority of our podcast so far has been mostly complaints.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
We're voicing complaints.
We will find things to talk about that excite us. And we did, like the motorsport stuff. That's very exciting.
There's a lot of good things going on in motorsport right now, man.
Yes.
It's really cool to see everything come back because even the Le Mans series, or like Le Mans eligible cars, so IMSA and FIA WEC stuff, it looked like it was dying.
Yep.
Like it really did. And Formula One was not in a good spot. I want to say 16 to 18, 19, around there.
Around there.
You know what I mean? It was just the same mundane thing. It was just boring. It didn't look good for motorsport. So it's been really exciting the past little bit. Forza, I mean, we're probably the biggest critics out there on the game.
I think so. I mean, some of the other known YouTubers and pages and people that talk about the game, they sing a lot of praises. And I understand, because there are a lot of things to praise about Forza, but they don't address the issues as much as they should.
And you know what? I think everybody's aware of this too. Like, I don't think we're talking about anything that's too revolutionary as far as complaints. Music,
sounds, progression. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think any of these are revolutionary ideas, but I don't mind having a conversation about it, because I think it's worth talking about.
And I think it's something that if people aren't necessarily thinking about, they need to hear.
I would love to see these things changed. You know, I really would like to see a lot of these things that we're talking about, and I'd like for it to be constructive criticism that's just a little bit on the harsh side, because I don't know. It's strange that a lot of it keeps happening. We talked about radio earlier in the show, and good Lord, man, it's just, you play these old games and they were so good music wise.
Yep.
And I mean, to even see Hospital Records fall off in this game, although there's been
so quickly,
you know, there was some real big time bangers.
There are
in Horizon 5.
In Horizon 5, there's some good ones, really
but
good
top to bottom, it doesn't have that same playthrough that Horizon 4 did.
You couldn't stick with one radio station and skip one song. You have to go back and forth through radio stations until you find that one song.
Let's close it on this. I got a great thing to talk about.
Okay.
A lot of you might not be aware of this, but one of my favorite things, collaborative-wise, that Forza's ever done is, in Forza Horizon 4, they started doing something with Hospital Records where they made an actual vinyl, like a vinyl disc of all the songs in the game. And, oh, man, it was so cool. It glows in the dark, which is like very dope. It comes with like this really cool cover. If you have the album on Spotify or Apple Music, you know the cover I'm talking about. It's pretty cool looking.
It is a cool cover.
But it unfolds, and it's this whole little collector's kit. And it was honestly a pretty cool gift for not having like a kick-ass collector's edition.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was a nice little extra thing. No, it wasn't really advertised that well, to be honest with you.
And they do have one for Horizon 5. It's not as cool. There's a tire mark on it. So it's pretty cool. The disc.
But it wasn't glow in the dark.
No.
And I mean, the biggest thing was the actual songs weren't as good.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
That's true.
But it is a really cool little Easter eggy thing. So if you do have your phone in front of you, and I imagine you're on your phone or you're in your car listening to us bumbling idiots talking about, definitely look that up, because it was really cool. Just type in Forza Horizon, whatever, vinyl.
Hospital Records.
Hospital
vinyl.
Yeah, it's sick. Hospital makes a lot of really good music too. Like if you actually go on like their like playlists that they've made, they do make a lot of really good playlists. They make a lot of good stuff. There's a couple stinky songs that I can't really listen to because it's very electronic and it sounds like something being thrown into a toaster. But good Lord, man, that Horizon 4.
But anyway, we'll end it there. Thank you very much for listening. We very much appreciate it, and we enjoy doing this. So we're going to keep doing it for a while, as long as we can.
We'll talk to you more a little bit next week, but look out for something on our Instagram. We're going to be talking about how we're going to go about this whole vintage GP.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about the Montreal GP a little bit too. That is coming up, I want to say, in 2-ish weeks.
Yep.
So keep an eye out on things. A lot of big things coming, as we keep saying. We're having a blast doing this. This has been awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much
for joining. A cabin right now.
We are in a cabin. We are in a cabin, and I'm going to go have a beer. Actually, let's open a beer right now, as we always do.
Click.
Thank you very much for joining this episode. Episode 3
of the
Forza World Podcast.
All right. We'll see you next time.